everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Teacher Yan, and for those of you who are new here, I am currently a J1 English teacher here in South Carolina, and for this video I will be sharing with you guys the step-by-step process that we went through prior to being deployed and hired here in South Carolina. So this is specific to my personal sponsor, which is FACES Incorporated, but more or less the process would be the same among sponsors with just little modifications here and there, but the requirements, the documents and stuff would basically be the same. So if you're interested to apply via FACES or any other visa sponsor, may you find this video helpful and interesting, and please keep on watching. So step one would be the online application. So you have to go and visit FACES website, and the link will be here somewhere in the video or in the description box. And once you go there, you need to sign up and you need to complete your profile or account in that website. So this is also when you would upload like the preliminary documents, which FACES will go over, would peruse, so they know if you are qualified for the program or not. So these documents that you will actually be uploading in the website include your transcript of records, your passport, NBI and police clearances, bank statements, bank records. What else? It would also include your driver's license. So I've stated this in my previous video. The driver's license is important because most of the districts that you will be deployed in do not have an available public transportation. So the main means of transportation is you driving your own car. So that's why they need the driver's license as a preliminary document. You would also need your credential evaluation. So it's your transcript of record translated to the point system here in the United States. And for my case, I did this via Evaluation Service Incorporated, and I think I paid around $180. But don't worry, once you're hired and you get here in the US, your sponsor is going to refund that $180 for the credential evaluation. So it's refundable. But for the meantime, during that time, during your application, that money will come from your pocket. But again, step two would be FACES pre-interview. So you won't be able to go to this stage if FACES found that your documents are not enough for you to qualify. So once the documents are good enough for you to qualify for the program, FACES will send you an email instructing you to choose a schedule so they can do their pre-interview with you. So a FACES staff will interview you, ask you some questions, not the very deep questions that you would be asked during the job interview itself, but more on your qualification as a teacher, and also some other stuff that might be essential on whether or not you're a candidate for the J1 visa. So this can be done via phone call or via video call, but they prefer video call. But in case of emergencies, they're willing to do it via phone call. Because I know that one of my friend actually did it via phone call because there was a power surge during that time, and FACES was kind enough to just do it over the phone instead of a video call. So again, step two is your pre-interview. Step three, your video resume. I'm not sure if this is unique to FACES, but I haven't heard of any other sponsor doing it this way. So what FACES does is, once your documents and your pre-interview is good or are good, they're gonna send you a set of questions. I think mine during our batch was 21 questions, and you will have to answer these questions while recording yourself. This is basically what they will be sending the school districts and the principals, and this is going to be the basis of them wanting to schedule an interview with you or right away offering you a job. So the video resume is very important. Don't do it in a rush. Don't do it if you know that you're mentally unprepared. Do it when you know that you're ready, because once it's out there, it's out there. There would be times that one of the FACES staff, usually George, would ask you to redo your video because he feels like it needs improvement for you to get the attention of prospective school districts or prospective employers. And if that's the case, the moment they tell you to redo it, just redo it. He gives you points of improvement, so just focus on that one. But once you give them your interview, your video resume, and they don't tell you to alter anything, it means that it's good enough. So basically, they want the video to be around 15 minutes long. So try not to exceed that one. Although as we conversed, we found out that there are people who can actually answer those 21 questions in just like 5 minutes. I don't know how they do it, but there are teachers who did it. But mine, I think it took me 12-13 minutes to answer all 21 questions. And you upload this to your YouTube account, but under unlisted. You cannot publicize your video resume. So it should be under unlisted, and you're going to send Cindy or any of the FACES staff that they instruct you to send it to the link to your unlisted video, and that's what they send out with your other credentials to, again, prospective employers, which are principals or school districts. Step 4, interview with school district or principal. So once your video resume is out there and the principal or the school district is interested in you, FACES is going to send you an email asking you if you're willing to do this interview with this school at this time, offering you this job, this subject, or something like that. If you're willing to, you send a yes, and then that's it. You do your school interview. So it depends on the school and the district. Some, it would only be the principal doing your interview. Some, it's not the principal but the assistant principal, or for some it's the curriculum specialist. It really depends on the school and school district. Others, it would be a panel interview. So if there are 5 of you in there, each one will ask you a set of questions. So it really depends on the school district that's going to conduct the interview with you. But again, step 4, and you have to really be emotionally, mentally prepared for that one. And you have to prepare physically as well, because usually the time zone it's afternoon in the US, and it's either midnight or really early morning in the Philippines. So that also should be included in how you prepare for your interview. Step 5, signing of contract with the school. So if your interview went well, they like you and they believe that you are the best fit for the position that their school needs, they are going to send you electronically a contract, which you also need to sign electronically. So remember that this is already binding. So before you sign the contract, if you have any questions, hesitations, make sure that you ask these questions first. Your salary, stuff like that. Don't be shy. Ask them, clarify them before you sign the document. So they usually use DocuSign for that. So it's just electronic signature, but it is binding. Now we're on to step 6. So your contract is signed. You know that you have a school waiting for you. So what you need to do now is to wait for your SEVIS and your DS 2019 or DS 2019. These are the 2 documents that will come from your sponsor. And these are very important documents, because without these 2, you won't be able to apply for your visa. So make sure that once it arrives, you guard it with your life, okay? But because you need the details from the SEVIS and the DS 2019 for you to start with your application with the next step, what they do is, while the documents are in mail or on their way to you, they actually send you the details via email. So you can go ahead and start with the next step. For my case, it took around 2 weeks for the document to arrive, and I was in Visayas in the Philippines. So maybe if you're in Luzon or bigger cities, it would be faster. I'm not sure. But for me, it took around 2 weeks for the physical documents to arrive at home. So once you have your SEVIS, your DS 2019, either the physical documents or the details sent to you via your email from FACES, your next step is to pay the visa fee. So you have to go to the US Embassy website. I'm gonna put up the link again somewhere in the video or in the description box, and make sure that you choose J1 visa fee. There are a lot of types of visas, so make sure that you choose J1 visa. The last time I checked, and for my case, it was $180. So you need the receipt number for you to be able to proceed to the next step. So you can pay this in any affiliated banks. They're gonna tell you which banks you can go to pay for it. So I think for my case, I paid via BPI. But for my other friends, for my other co-teachers, I think BPI was no longer affiliated with it. So some paid in RCBC, if I'm not mistaken, and in other banks. So they're gonna tell you where to pay. So you just have to pay for that one. So take note of the receipt or of the number because you're gonna need it for step number 8. Step number 8 is to complete your DS-160 and set your interview schedule with the US Embassy. Okay, so you go online. Again, link is either going to be here in the video or in the description box. You go online and you start with your DS-160. So there are a lot of sections to it. Like there's a personal information, family background, work history, legal something. There are a lot. So you have to fill in everything. There's one part where you need the details from your DS 2019, your SEVIS number, your receipt number is needed for you to start. So be careful with this one. So if you're not sure of an information, feel free to email FACES or any of the staff that you know so they can clarify what information you can put in there. All right. I think it's gonna ask you the address of your sponsor, the number, the contact person in the US. What else? I forgot some, but those are some of the information which are all found in your DS 2019. And if they're not there, you can ask FACES or one of their staff. Let's go to step number 9. So in step number 8, you already completed your DS-160 and you were able to book an interview schedule for your visa. Now, while waiting, especially if you are from the Department of Education or are currently with them, I suggest that you start compiling the documents needed for CFO because it could take a while, especially that I think it was our batch, which was the first batch where they implemented the central office signed clearance. So you need to process your clearance from school level up to the central or national level. So it might take time. So be sure that while waiting for your interview schedule, you start processing your CFO requirements or your CFO registration, starting with the Mahiwagang clearance. Step number 10 is attending your visa interview. So I have a video, it's going to be up here, about the common questions and the questions that I answered during my J1 visa interview, and I hope that helps you. You can click it here or you can access the link via the description box below. But make sure that you bring the documents. I also mentioned in that video the documents that you need to bring during your interview. So make sure that you have them with you when you go there. That includes your DS-160, okay? That includes your DS-160. So make sure that you have them and you nail that interview. And we go to step number 11. So once you have your passport with the approved visa sticker on it, you can now finish your CFO registration. So the link is going to be there below in the description box or somewhere here. But I keep saying that line, but anyways, yeah, the links are there. So you have to finish your CFO registration. It's going to require you some information again, which includes your visa number. And then once you've done that, you're going to have to pay a certain amount for the CFO sticker. That is what you need. That CFO sticker is what you need. So finish your online registration with CFO, and then they're going to give you the details on how to pay and how much. I forgot how much I paid for the CFO registration sticker or for the CFO sticker, but if I remember, I'm going to put it up here. But after paying for that one, I think it also takes like 5 to 7 business days for the sticker to arrive. And take note, it's not even a sticker. It's like a piece of paper that you have to stick on your own on your passport. But yeah, there's going to be an instruction on how to do that one. But once you've done that and you have received your CFO sticker, you proceed to the next step. Step number 12 is booking a flight to the US. So it's not you. You're not going to personally book your flight, or you may, and then Faces will refund you. But for my case, I just let Faces do their thing. So what I did was I informed them that I already have my CFO sticker, and they were the ones who booked the ticket for me. So they're going to pay for everything. Some sponsors, they have like an allowance, like a budget set for your flight. Like for example, like some sponsors would say that they're gonna pay $750 for your flight. So whatever is in excess of that, you're gonna pay when you get here. But for Faces, regardless of the price, they're going to pay for the ticket. So from the Philippines to the US. So they're gonna book you that ticket, and oh my gosh, you're on to the last step, which is step number 13. Get ready to fly. So yeah, basically, that's it. Step number 13 is up to you on how you're going to do it. You can start packing as early as you want if you've finished the entire process early on, or if you just have enough time before you fly. It really depends, but ready yourself emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually for the new chapter of your life. So again, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is specific to Faces. The steps that I mentioned to you are specific to my sponsor, my visa sponsor, Faces Incorporated. But it's not going to be totally different from the other ones, especially the documents and the visa thingy and the CFO thingy that you need to go through. But some of the earlier steps may differ, but the rest of the steps would most likely be the same. So I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope that if you're thinking about working here as a J1 teacher, I hope this video helps you, inspires you, or makes you reflect if this is really something that you want and something that God wants for you. So once again, this is Teacher Yan. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Have a good day. Bye-bye.